All right. Hey Bernard, how we doing this morning?
I'm good, bud. How you doing?
Good, man. I see we
Friday.
both we're both wearing the colors today.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. Alternative agents, part of Alumni Elite with EXP. Why don't you go ahead? Let's talk a little about alternative agents, how we came up with this idea, and what it means for the consumer, and
Okay.
how it's going to help them.
Well, we came up with the idea mainly out of frustration of figuring out ways to get deals done other than the traditional way. We are the type of agents who go above and beyond for our clients, and even then, that's not enough. So we got to be like, there's got to be a better way. Hence the word alternative.
Right.
Uh, you always say yourself that most agents don't think outside of the box. And because of both of our styles, we've always thought outside of the box, even to our own demise.
Yeah.
I think I think the alternative agents is going to be somewhat of a new movement in the real estate business of just figuring out ways to get deals done and help
hmm
our buyers and our sellers. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. Coming up with the best solution for our clients, making sure that they maximize their efforts and their profits, or get the best deal on whether they're buying a house or not.
Right.
So, what we want to continue to get better at ourselves, as well as teach our team and our new agents that may be joining us later, is how to think outside the box. When one door closes, there got to be another one we can open.
hmm
And there are all sorts of solutions out there that most agents don't even know about how to get a deal done.
Right. Right. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
where the alternative agents was
Yeah,
born.
yeah, you're so right. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it was pretty much everyone was retail, and then you had that small segment, 8 to 10%, who thought, I'll try and force sale by owner to this thing. But as fintech came in, and really over the last 5 years in this industry, it's become you've got so many people now that they're independent consultants somewhere, they've got their own business, what have you, and they just can't qualify, in the traditional sense of financing, so they need other alternatives. And to your point, that's exactly where this all comes in. And a lot of this isn't new. It's been out there for a long time, but now it's just kind of coming to the forefront because there is that need. There is that when like, as you said, when you sit down with a potential buyer and you're running through the scenario, tell me a story, what's going on, what can we do for you? I've heard it and you've heard it. It's like, well, my credit's okay. It's just that I own a business. I haven't done taxes in 2 years or whatever it is, and I can't get traditional financing, but I want to really get into a home. Well, come to us because that's how we help people. That's not going to stop us. That'll stop, I'm going to guess, probably 75, 80% of agents out there because they're like, well, you can't get traditional financing. I don't know how I can help you. Right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's true. And we're seeing there's so many different, fintech companies that have come along. Some have come and gone and come back again. But there's some really good programs, and we try and stay on top of these programs all the time, just for that specific case of, hey, what's the situation? Because not everyone fits that mold any longer of a traditional retail sale or purchase. And you need alternatives. Consumers
Absolutely.
they want alternatives, right?
Absolutely. People want options everywhere they go, with the rising interest rates, with the all of the sharks competing for the little bit of market share that we have left. The fintech companies, as you mentioned, these guys have gazillions of dollars backing them. So they're crushing all the little guys,
Yeah.
and when people don't think outside the box, just like you said, well, my lender can't get you approved. You'll probably have to wait 2 more years. And that's the end of it. And they're
Yeah.
off going to look for another buyer. And this person who's very well qualified with an alternative,
Mm-hmm.
they just leave them on the table. They leave
Right.
them there to die.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that that's where we are hoping to take a piece of that market share and show these people some better options.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many options out there. To your point, that most agents, I would say, a good 90% don't even know about, let
You're
alone
right.
think about.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And you know, in some of the Facebook feeds that I see, yeah, I see the conversations going back where they just they don't know what to do. And you know, that's where we can come in. And it's just really about just figuring out where to place the buyer or the seller, because even sellers, there's sellers that, you know, have situations where maybe they just purchased a year ago, you know, depending on what they bought it for or what have you, they need to move, but they don't want to bring $20,000 to closing so they can sell their house on top of all the other costs that are involved. So, you know, we have solutions for that too. And again, it's just having that conversation, really finding out what's going on, because again, things have changed. You know, 70s, 90s was kind of the same, and then 2000s when internet came along, and all of a sudden we could post things online. I mean, oh my gosh, look at that. You know, everyone thought this was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then it just kind of, you know, has transferred into just so many different opportunities. And like I
Right,
said, a lot of these have been out there for almost a century. It's just nobody's really taken them and grasped them and said, okay, how can we make this work for this particular client or you know, or consumer.
right.
So yeah,
Well,
so it's very
in this,
exciting. I mean, I think it's great. You know, I think
yeah,
we're providing something that I have yet to really see anybody else kind of grasp this and say, hey, you know what, we're going to build a team around this idea, because I think, and I know you agree because we've talked about this, that agents need to have a bigger grasp of what's, you know, what's really out there. What are the, how can I help my client the best, besides this, you know, one little box that's sitting over here for the retail sale or retail purchase, which, you know, is still going to be a majority of the transactions. But
right,
you know, we're trying to keep everything under one roof and say, we can help you, that we can do that, we can, you know,
right,
because
right,
everyone's got a different story, everyone's got a different situation. I don't care. There's just, you know, we're all individuals, we all have unique circumstances that we need to
right,
you know, get things figured out. So
right.
so super exciting, you know, that we're kind of taking this on, and I think we're really at the forefront of doing this. So
Right.
you know, you know, to agents out there too, you know, especially, you know, it's like when you start out, you get your license, you're all excited, you do some training, and then you kind of get left out there,
What do I do
unfortunately.
now?
What do I do now? How do I get
Right,
leads, you know, and all that?
right.
You know, it's difficult, and I was telling an investor friend of mine, I told him, I said, you know, it's actually a pretty lonely business, because you know, it's all gung ho in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, 3 months in, you're just kind of sitting there going,
You're on an island all by yourself.
what do I do now? And you know, again, that's kind of what we're looking to do with alternative agents, is introduce either new agents or existing agents to kind of a different world that they're probably not used to. And you know,
Right,
we have the expertise to guide them. If we don't have the answers, we certainly have you know, people in our sphere that
right.
can guide us in the right direction. You
To
know,
find
whether it be attorneys, whether it be title companies, you know, there's always somebody that has, you know, is a couple of chapters ahead of us. You know, on some of these, you know, they're a little
correct.
more complicated transactions, I'd have to say.
Right,
You
right.
know,
And
they're
that's okay because normally, again, piggybacking off of what you just said, if we just dig a little deeper and then we teach our agents how to dig a little deeper, there's always a solution. In this unfortunate world where if they didn't see it on Google, it doesn't exist. Like you said, this stuff has been out there for centuries,
yeah,
but people just don't know about it because they don't know who to talk to or what right questions to ask.
right, exactly.
These things been around since the beginning of time before any of us even thought about getting our license.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
well, the interest rates are high right now. Okay,
yeah.
it's okay. There's a fix for that.
There's a fix,
It
exactly.
could be temporary, it could be a little bit longer term, but it's client specific.
Right.
So, what we try to do is teach our agents how to ask the right questions
Mm-hmm.
because it's not one size fit all. We got to ask
No.
the right questions to find out how to tailor it to this particular client situation. You know, they may have a house with a ton of equity in it. and going through a really nasty divorce.
Thank you. Yep.
Then you got the family who just lost their matriarch, and the kids are all idiots, and they just know the house is paid for, and they want their cut.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So,
Like today.
what's the best solution for that rather
Right.
than killing one another and
Yeah,
preparing for another funeral?
exactly.
So, so yeah, I'm super stoked about it, man. We've been working on this for months, and now that it's finally coming together, uh, with EXP being the vehicle we've chosen to drive this thing, we can help agents just and clients just about anywhere.
Right.
And
Yep.
that part in particular, I'm super excited about because our last brokerage, although we were independent, we still had borders.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't really go outside of Texas unless and help another agent or a client unless we were licensed. Well,
Right.
now we've got agent partners in all 50 states and 22 countries.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
the borders have been taken
So,
completely off. So now we can help anybody, whether it's my home city of New Orleans or your old home in Chicago or
right.
California. We can help people anywhere. My
Ex-
daughter's getting ready to move to Rhode Island. Well, I'm like,
right
hey,
there.
I
Right.
can help you
Yeah.
in Rhode Island. So I got
Exactly.
partners up there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, man, and I'm glad we finally challenged ourselves to do this after some months and months of back and forth. And I'm looking to make this a movement. I think this is going to be a movement. I
Right.
think we're going to help a lot of agents. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to help a lot of
A lot
families,
of families.
and
Yep.
I think we're going to be at the forefront of this. And yeah, hey,
No, you're
if
right.
you're at a place where you're feeling stuck and you're on an island by yourself with one coconut and a fish, you know, our island has plenty of food. You can come over to our island.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got plenty of food to
Right.
eat over here. So,
Yeah, exactly.
uh,
And it's all about the tools, right? I mean, you got to have the tools, but you also have to know how to use those tools and the questions to ask to get to the right tool. So,
right,
and we're working on that too.
right, right.
It's always evolving. So
Constantly.
I think like you said, we're definitely on the right path here, and it's exciting. Not only for the customer, the client, but also for new agents who want to come in and learn something different and new, and because they're going to come across it at some point.
Right,
If you're an
right.
agent, you're going to come across one of these scenarios that we're talking about that you're going to just sit back and go, oh man, I don't know what to do, and you're either going to give up on that person, or you may even go to your broker who's going to tell you, "Well, I don't really know how to handle this,"
Clueless,
and then your client's
clueless.
going to go, "Well, I really don't feel comfortable using you, so I need to go somewhere else."
So there's the old saying that says, you'll eventually come across a scenario like that. Just keep living. I always tell agents keep licensing. You'll find you'll come across one of these deals. You keep licensing. The longer you keep that license active,
Thank you.
you're going to come across one of
You're going to
these
come
deals.
across it. Yep.
So
Yep.
it's inevitable. So
Yep.
I'm super excited about where we're going with this. This is basically just our introduction to the world. Stay tuned for lots more
Stay tuned.
powerful
Just stay
information.
tuned. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm Bernard. This is my partner Sean. We're Alumni Elite, the alternative agents with EXP.
We're in Houston, Texas, but
Yes,
we will go anywhere, like you said.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you
So
if you're
I'm
watching
excited
this
about.
in Spain, hey, you want to come over on board? We'll help you out. We love the international clientele and agents too, so we can make it all work. Not a problem,
Absolutely.
right?
So I'm excited about it. Stay tuned for more powerful information to come. Sean and I are going to do our best to give you the most up to date, accurate information on how to salvage some of these deals.
Mm-hmm.
And hope you find our journey interesting and even think about coming aboard.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and Bernard, thank you much. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
As
sir.
always, a good time.
Absolutely.
All right.
See you soon.
See ya.